the screen is being recorded for the video purposes for the people who haven't attended the live sessions. Okay, so first off, I'm just going to quickly cover an overview of some things that we've covered in the past. So a couple weeks ago, we have covered the roadmap and the steps in your roadmap. Once you're signed into the digital platform, you can navigate to the home section on the left-hand side. Once you do so, you can see all the steps that you need to complete in order to be successful in earning your career that you're interested in. Once you click on See All Steps on the right-hand side, you should see all the steps listed. Because I have originally completed these steps, they show under Completed. If you haven't completed your steps, it should show under Upcoming. And if you haven't completed a step, you will see a button here that says Complete. Once you complete a step, click on Complete so that I'm aware that you've completed that step, as I have access in the back end. The first step we've talked about is getting to know your interests, which navigated us to the Holland Code Career Quiz. The Holland Code Career Quiz is a quiz that is designed for those interested in digital careers. It specifically has results outlining skill sets required to succeed in digital careers specifically. So it is a very quick test. It takes about 10 minutes to complete, and the results show up as a percentage. Once you have those results, you can input them in the second step. So you will get a percentage of your results. So the top 3 highest percentages is the ones that you want to choose over here. This will curate your digital platform and your career passport, which means that the platform will start showing you careers that are in line with your interests as well as your strong skill set. This is important because you need to choose a career that you know you will succeed in. The good thing about this tool as well, and this is our main discussion for today, is once you click on this side and you once you click on personality library, I mean on the left at the right hand side, and you navigate to the Holland Code Quiz or Careers for Your Type. If you navigate to Careers for Your Type, it will show you the 3 different categories by which careers can be listed to you. This is important when you're researching a career that you are interested in. If you research careers by the Holland Code, let's say your highest percentage was for building, and you want to include careers that are also for creating, and you can have a keyword search like let's say front-end developer, and you click on search. Sorry, I think, or maybe I'll choose developer because it's easier. So once you click on, and I want, for example, developer and any, it will show you the careers that are relevant to that skill set. Let's say, for example, an accountant or an advertising and promotion manager or an aerospace engineer. It will give you a brief summary of what that career looks like and what it entails, but also if you click on it, it will give you a more in-depth description of the career. First of all, it will show you what kind of skill set is the strongest. So based on your results from your own quiz, you can tell whether or not that this career is suitable for you. It will show you also the median pay, which is the average pay that most people get paid. It will show you also the percentage of job growth, which means it will show you the percentage of how high it is possible for you to earn a higher degree or a higher position once you start this career. It will also show you similar jobs so that you can research them further. It will also show you the duties, the daily duties, what you'll be doing, what your day would look like, and it will also show you what the work environment is. So let's, for example, for an accountant, it will be mainly accounting, tax preparation, bookkeeping, and payroll services. It will also show you what kind of work schedule it is, and this is important if, for example, you can't work full-time and you need to work part-time, or if you want to work remotely. This will kind of give you an idea if this career will be suitable for those goals or not. It will also list the education and the training that is required for you to be able to excel in this type of career. Like, for example, for accountant, you need a bachelor's degree in accountant, but you also need your CPA certification. And it also goes in depth with all the licenses and the certifications you need to be able to excel in this type of career. They provide with names and governmental certifications that are required to be able to have a high career and to be able to be paid well in those types of careers. It will also share a general pay and a job outlook. So this is a very in-depth description of that career you're interested in, and it's important to research it because sometimes you have a career in mind, but then you realize when going in depth of the duties or the job growth or the pay that this career is not as suitable for you. So utilize the platform for your career search. If you go onto your career passport again, onto home button, and you click on see all steps again, the third step, which is the step that we're going to cover today, will be understanding your options of digital careers. Most people think that digital careers are limited to development, like for example, full stack development or coding, but there is a realm of digital careers that you can explore. This is just a very brief overview of an example. For example, for software development and programming, there is front-end development, there is back-end development, there's full stack, there's mobile app development. There's also game development. For web development and design, there's web design, UX, UI, or a combination of both, and web development. For data science analytics, there's data analysis, data engineering, data visualization. For digital marketing, there is SEO, SEM, social media marketing, content marketing, and email marketing. So for every type, for every category of digital careers, there's also subcategories. So when you're researching the career of your interest, make sure that you understand those subcategories. Why? Because it will help you refine your search on the platform, but also on outside resources. If you're interested in software development and you're looking for positions that are in software development, you might see a lot of positions. But let's say you narrowed it down to full stack development, then you are able to actually look for specific jobs that are in that realm. Additionally, if you are interested in full stack development, you might realize that you are more leaning, when you're doing your research, you're leaning more towards another type of subcategory under the software development category. So it is important to do a very in-depth research of the type of career you're interested in to understand whether or not you have the skills that meet that requirement for exceeding in that career, and if not, to understand how you can increase your skills match for that specific career. And the reason I say this is because on the digital platform, if you go to the career section, you will be able to see a skills match percentage. That percentage will indicate how many skills you currently have listed on your career passport and in your resume that match with a certain career. For this example, for full stack developer, it shows that I have a 39% match only, which means that I need to take further courses and I need to research the relevant skills that are required for me to be able to apply to that position. The good thing about the platform, it will also show you the courses listed that you can earn certificate for, and once you take that certificate, you can add this as a skill yourself. You can edit and update your skills over here. Once you click on edit skills, you can add a skill at the bottom and then move it, drag and drop it towards the level that you feel you are comfortable in. And once you click on done, it should show up. Additionally, under this page, if you go down and you click on view my career path, there are many careers that you could choose from. If you click on this little pen under the career path, and it will also show you how imagine it as a car and you're moving towards that career. So it will show the progress of how close you are to that career. Let's say I want to become a social media specialist. It will show me that career, and it will show me the percentage match again, and it will show me also learning opportunities for things that I'm missing or are not listed on my profile. This is very important because you are using the platform to apply for positions directly. Employers do not usually look at thousands of applications they get. Instead, they utilize AI-generated software that will narrow down the number of resumes and applications that they receive. And these AI-generated software will grade your skill match, just like here. If your skill match is 90 and above, then you will be passed on to the next stage. If not, then you will not be able to surpass. And regardless of how strong your resume is or how strong your experience is, your resume will be discarded. So it is very important that your skills listed has the keywords that the employers are looking for, because they utilize AI software that looks for these keywords. It's a parser. It goes around and checks for the presence of these keywords. If they're not there, then your skill match score is going to decrease, and therefore your resume or application will not be passed to the next stage. Does anyone have any questions so far? Perfect. So let's go now in depth more over the step that we're supposed to cover for today, which will be the options of your digital careers. This is the third step in your roadmap. Once you click on See More, you will be navigated to this little PDF. This is a PDF prepared by myself, your instructors, as well as the digital team, and it includes the different types of digital careers that are present. For example, we have developer roles, we have emerging digital careers that are new but are in required, like VR and machine learning. There are digital careers that are in project management, like for example, a project manager. There are digital careers in design, like a UX UI designer, and there are digital careers in security. For example, software consultant or a security engineer or quality assurance engineer. Now, this is a very, very useful PDF, and I would recommend that you read up on it, because once, for example, you are interested, let's say, in full stack developer, you can click on that little link and it will redirect you to a page that is what, as we know, is a day in the life. The day in the life PDF simplistically describes oh, sorry, Sugnati. So you can go on your career roadmap, and once you go on your career roadmap, you should see it as the third step, understand options of digital careers. And once you click on See More, you will be able to access this PDF. Okay. So once you click, for example, on full stack developer, it will redirect you to this link. It will show you the essential skills that are required to be able to excel in a job as full stack developer. It is what we know as the day in the life. And the day in the life simplistically shows what a day of a full stack developer looks like. What are the duties that are performed by the full stack developer? What are the skills required? What are the working hours, the working atmosphere, etc. And this is from people that are in the professional atmosphere. So people who have worked as full stack developers for a very long time have written these. What is the full stack development? What is a full stack developer? There is, again, see if you can tell, full stack development is also it has subcategories on its own. You can program by a browser or you can program by a server. There are different positions tailored for each of those types of full stack development. So when you're researching, keep that in mind. That for example, if you have more experience in JavaScript and Angular, it is better to apply for positions that are full stack development for programming a browser rather than full stack development for programming a server, because these require Python and Node, for example. So it's very important to do your research prior to understanding what career you want, because then you'll understand the different types of careers, but also the different skills, courses, certifications, licenses that are required to be able to excel in that specific type of career. It will also explain and go in deep depth in different types of development, and it will also do a comparison in terms of the skills, but also the demand in the career areas, and it will also give you a very in-depth skills that are needed. This is done based on research where many full stack developers have worked, like for example, the 15 skills that are needed for full stack development, and these are the skills that the employers will look for. These 15 skills, if you do not have them, you must have courses for them, or you must start building your resume using these skills, because that will give you the edge in the career search. If you do not have these skills and other candidates have them, they will prefer and opt out for choosing those candidates because they do have those skills in comparison to someone who doesn't have those skills. So for example, CSS, HTML, JavaScript, back-end technologies, database management systems, version control, web hosting platforms, even the soft skills that you need to be able to become a full stack developer will be listed over here. And as well as your responsibilities, the programming languages that you need to be aware of, and more. So it's very, very good. And it will also list more statistics of what the salary would look like, how competitive the job market is, and what can you do to actually land an application from experts. So these are expert tips on how you can land a full stack developer job, and what steps you can take to ensure that you have an edge. For example, many students do not have a portfolio that showcases their projects or coursework. And for a full stack developer, 99% of the employers will look for a portfolio. If you do not have a portfolio showcasing your projects, you will not be able to pass to the next stage of the recruitment. So many students do not have that portfolio, so it's a good starting point for them to start building their portfolio, showcasing their projects, or even working on projects on their own so that they can put them on their portfolio for presentation purposes for the employer. And again, these are very new. They are created in 2024, so all the trends and the languages are very up to date. We double checked all the links, and additionally, it will show you boot camps and different courses that you can sign up for. But with your course with coding in color, you already do have that certification. You just need to take the extra courses that are listed on the career learning section of the platform, just to increase your resume skills and build your resume so that you have an edge in comparison to the remaining candidates of the pool. Any questions? Okay, perfect. There are also different types of digital careers, like I said, listed here. So let's say you originally thought you wanted to be a UX UI designer, but you looked at this PDF and something else piqued your interest. Let's say machine learning engineer. You can also research those options. So whatever option that you feel like you want to research, you can click on, and it will be the same idea. It will show you what a day in the life of the UX UI designer looks like, what certifications you need, what skills that are required to be able to exceed, how to build your portfolio for a UX UI designer. And it also even shows you a breakdown of the to-do and the main tasks and responsibilities. Some of these explain exactly what your schedule would look like, even starting from 9 a.m. So it will show you exactly what it would look like, and it would also list recommendations of the different free courses and certifications that are offered for these types of careers. Additionally, even if, for example, let's say you booked your one-on-one with me and you said, "Hey Sally, I took a bunch of courses in SQL, and I realized that I'm interested in SQL. Can you do an in-depth research of SQL courses for me so that I am able to explore that option better?" And I can definitely do that. Because I've done that for other students where I, for example, did a breakdown of and a very strong description of what a day in the life would look like for such students. Like I'll show you very quickly what I've prepared previously for students who were interested in a career but didn't know how to research it. So if you booked your one-on-one and had and asked me, for example, to research it for you, I can do that so that you can explore your options further and read up on it further, and so that you're able to kind of understand what you exactly want and what you exactly are looking for or looking to achieve. So I'll show you very, very quickly an example of that. For instance, I had a student who was very interested in app development, but didn't understand how to start with app development. So I did research for her, and I basically wrote everything that is required for app development, the different kinds, the prerequisites, the learning paths, the top skills required, the essential skills required, and a step-by-step guide required for app development. I did this for SQL careers as well, and I did this for multiple other things where I was able to refine the search in a way for students who are interested in a career but don't know how to research it well. So once you book your one-on-one, you can tell me, for example, I looked into full stack development, but I would like you to do a more in-depth research for me, compare market trends for me, and I can help you do that as well. But I would highly recommend that you definitely go through the PDF, the day in the life PDF, do your independent search, understand what the different types of requirements that you need to have to be able to excel in the career path that you chose, and then we can talk about further recommendations and further steps, okay? I've also have different links. Like for example, I have this link and I can share it with you guys right now. This is understanding, for instance, the different types of full stack developers. Again, people usually think that full stack developers are the only kind that is available, but in the market, there are many subcategories of even full stack developments. There are the classic full stack developers, there's the front ends, the back end, the mobile app, the DevOps, the specialized full stack developer, and more. So once you do your research, you can kind of figure out which one resonates with you most. You can do market research trends, which one is more high in demand, which one is less in demand. You can do salary search so that you understand how well paid a certain career is in comparison to the other. And then you can use all that information to decide if that career is suitable for you or not. I have for example, other careers like a digital strategist. Again, Indeed is a very good resource to kind of look and understand what that career is. I can share those links as well. There are different skill sets that you need. There's also different types of digital marketing coordinators. There are different skills that you need to excel in those different types. So it's very important to understand the career very well so that you can really succeed in that career. Because if you don't understand what the day in the life of that career looks like, you won't be able to really understand how to succeed in it, what courses to take to improve your market application. Any questions? Okay, I've also prepared a very short document for the different skills that are required for different careers, and I'm still adding on to this. Like, for example, for web development, the technical skills that you need to have are HTML, CSS, JavaScript, front-end frameworks, back-end frameworks, responsive design, but there are also soft skills that I've listed here. Why I've done this is so that when you're crafting your resume, you can use that list to make sure that your resume has those skills mentioned. A very strong resume will showcase the skills that are required. These are keywords. Like I said, the employers do not go through thousands of resumes. They will pass the resumes through a resume checker as well as a skills match parsers checker to see whether you pass a certain percentage or not. If you don't, and even if you have a lot of experience, you will still not be able to get your application across to the employer. They receive 10,000s of applications, and then through the funnel process, these applications reduce slowly until they reach a number where they can start contacting the potential applicants and actually start the hiring process. So my focus will be on getting you to surpass that percentage and getting you surpass that skills match parser so that you are able to actually land your next step in the hiring process. Okay. And I've done this for data science, digital marketing, web development, cybersecurity, UX UI design, and more. I'm constantly adding different careers and the different skills that are required, both soft or the foundational skills and the technical skills as well. Okay, in this list, I have listed all the different categories of digital careers, but also all the different subcategories for all of these careers. Like I said, each big career has its own smaller specializations, and even for front end and development, like we just saw, it has its own even smaller subcategories. So it's very important to do a full research to understand the different careers, the different market trends, so that you are able to really refine your resume, your cover letter, your portfolio to match that specific career. The better the match is, the higher the chance that you will land an interview and a job. Any questions, or is everything good? Perfect. Let's navigate back to the steps. So we've just covered this step, which is the third step on your roadmap. Like I said, again, please ensure that your career passport is updated with your resume and your work experience, as well as all the certifications you have. Because you're applying directly through the platform, it's very important that the platform profile is very updated so that when you apply, the hiring managers and the employer can directly see all of this. Also, it's very important to update your skills profile. Like I said, you can click on edit skills and add a new skill or drag and drop or even delete some of the skills that you don't think you have. In the interests section, you can look over what kind of things interests you. For example, I have chosen that my top career interests are community social services, design media writing, personalized services, marketing, and public, but you can click on the small pen and like delete the ones that don't resonate for you. For example, I've just deleted these, and it will show my top 3 here. And once it does, automatically the platform will start showing positions in the work sections that are relevant to your skills. Because I have chosen social media specialist, immediately it started showing me positions for social media specialist. This is much easier than other platforms because other platforms you will have to look for the keywords yourself. But here, if you optimize your career passport as well as your home section and search section, it will automatically show the positions that are relevant to your interests as well as your different skills that you've already updated on your career passport. Okay. And again, I will track your progress of step completion on the back end. Right now, after this session, we should be all the first 3 steps should be fully completed. And we're going to go over a little bit the helpful career resources that are offered. But we'll just take a very quick 5 minutes for questions and like personalized requests, like what kind of concerns you've had with your own career search. Have you had some challenges? Anything that you feel like I can give advice on? And because it's just the 2 of you, so feel free to take more time than the rest. Have you found any challenges prior to like applying to jobs? Have you applied to jobs and you weren't able to land interviews, and you wondered why, for example?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mubina. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good.
Yes, actually, I had a lot of difficulties applying for jobs. I'm looking for a data scientist or a machine learning engineer position because I'm about to graduation and like I have talked with some people about my resume, but I feel like maybe it needs some improvement because I'm applying for some companies, but I'm less likely to get interviews. I feel like maybe if I have like a better resume or even like a referral, it would be much better for me. And yeah, this way, I have some problems.
Of course, you're very right. Most people think that the trick is just having a strong resume, but really the trick is also having certain keywords listed in your resume so that it can be passed on to the next stage. And most people think that one resume works for all digital careers. That is not correct. Like you said, if you're interested in machine learning, then it is important that your resume reflects the skills, courses, certifications, and licenses relevant to that specific career. Because a employer is not interested in anything outside of that realm. The employer is hiring for a machine learning engineer, so they want to see the skills, the courses, certifications, and licenses that reflect the strengths in those specific careers. So it is very important to refine your resume to uh, reflect those things. And we will have a very long resume workshop where I will be showing you the different types of resumes I've worked on with previous students, as well as how we changed it in a way so that it's more positive and reactive. I've had a student who was applying for jobs for almost 2.5 years and wasn't able to land any interviews, not even positions, but no interviews at all. But after working on his resume, a month after, he landed 3 interviews, which is very great. So it is very important that the resume is well presented. Otherwise, you will not be able to pass on to that next milestone or next stage. Also, it is a very good important point that you just mentioned, which is networking and referrals. We will have a workshop on how to network and how to get a referral to employers in the uh, professional careers, and LinkedIn plays a big part. For example, I always tell students if you're interested in a certain company, then you should be able to find the HR manager of that company and directly message them on LinkedIn with all of your credentials, your resume, your work, your cover letter, and everything else. Why? Because you get that point directly. Also, the digital platform under the resources section will has some communities on Slack. These communities are specifically for and chapters, and I'll provide you with all those links as well. But these Slack community chapters are for companies that are present in Canada, for employers who are looking specifically for employees that have certain skill sets, so in the digital space. So it's very even important to join such chapters on Slack, because that way you have direct contact with employers and companies, and you're not just applying through a generic company website or through just a platform. So it's very, very important to have that networking aspect, because you have direct contact with an employer or a potential employer, and they might be very impressed with your resume that they completely disregard all the other applications and just focus on yours. So we will develop strategies, and I'll get you guys in further group sessions to sign up for these chapters where you are in direct contact with employers from the field or the digital field that you are interested in.
Okay, that would be great. Yeah, thank you. Because I was looking for a way, as you said, just directly contact with them. Because sometimes maybe they don't even open their resume, and I have heard that they take 3 seconds for each resume to look up to. But if we apply through these platforms, it would be like it's more likely to get an interview. That would be great. Thank you.
Yes, you're very right. And I've always also told this to students. Like I said in the beginning, it's very unlikely that, and by very unlikely, I mean it's impossible, to be honest, for an employer to look at the 10,000s of applications they receive. Instead, once they receive all of those applications, they will use several software to narrow it down. And sometimes if they already have received a direct message or a direct referral, they will never look at any of those applications or resumes, and the job posting will be closed just through the referral. Also, some companies have an internal hiring system, which means that they prefer to internally hire from people who give referrals internally or to promote people who are already in a company. So I have strategies to actually surpass that internal hiring or seniority, because an external hire is much, much more likely to have higher skills because they're outside, but it's a little bit difficult for them to get inside the company. So we will work on strategies of surpassing that little problem.
That's great. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much for that question. That is a very good question, Signati. You're right. Um, uh, you are on point. I've had a lot of students who are either switching careers. So one of my students, I'll give you a very brief example. She is actually a person who is a linguistic. So she basically works on translating documents, and now she's interested in full stack development. She has zero prior experience with full stack development. All her experience and even education is in language and translation. So she's doing a switch completely from one career to another. Some students I have also took a very long gap because, for example, they have other commitments, they traveled, they moved, they have a family, etc., and they stopped working in that time being, and so that it formed a gap in the resume. I will tell you two things. The first thing is with whatever position that you're applying to, there is always a way to showcase your resume in a strong standpoint. And I'll show you a very quick example. What I would recommend to students who have zero prior experience is right now we are working on actually creating a list of internships that you can start. These internships are designed for beginner and junior level students. And we are working on getting that immediate connection with these organizations so that you can at least start earning experience using those internships. Further, for your resume and how your resume would look like, and I'm going to quickly show you an example of a student who actually is in the CIC course as well, but she started the career onboarding a little bit earlier than the rest of the cohort, and she did not have any professional experience, but she did have a lot of projects that she worked on independently on her own time or worked on with other students or in her CIC course. So what I did for her resume is actually list her personal projects. And even though her personal projects she worked on personally, it created a very strong resume for her because it showcased the things that she's been doing in her free time. So utilize your time effectively. Take the time right now till the end of your course, as well as after, even if you take 1 month, for example, while you're applying, to build projects, build your portfolio, start working on your personal projects, sign up and apply for internships that are much easier to get into than a senior level position. And also, because the Foundation for a Path Forward is working on creating that internship resource list, then you can directly apply to those. You can start building slowly your experience, even if you have a gap in your career, but also if you're switching a career completely and going into a new career that you haven't explored before. Does that make sense? Perfect. I'll take a bit of time now to kind of go over the fourth step of the platform. And this is a very important step that loops in with the step that we just discussed, which is exploring the different digital career options that you have. When you're doing your research, the digital platform also has a very unique feature that is not present with most platforms, and that is the resources section. The resources section has a lot of information and a lot of resources that can build your skill set, but also that can help you with your personal goals. Let's say, for example, your personal goals is to get assistance in resume in interviews, for example. So I will click on in the resource section on the left hand side. You can go and research interview. There are two very useful tools here, and these prepare you for your interview. For example, this is the Google interview warm-up tool, which is for free, and also it is certified. So once you complete it, you get a certificate from Google, and it's very well known. It shows you the different types of interviews that you can prepare for depending on the digital career you chose. It will, for example, cybersecurity, UX, UI design, data analytics, etc. This is it's a very useful tool because it can allow you to practice the different types of questions that you can encounter in an interview. If your interview prep is strong, then during your actual work interview, you will not be shocked or you will not see questions that you haven't seen before. If you click on start practicing, for example, it will give you a list of different careers that you can practice for. Let's say you want to practice for data analytics. It will show you even the different types of the data analytics. And then it will start by allowing you to practice. You can record yourself.
Hi, let's practice an interview for data analytics. Can you please tell me a bit about yourself?
So, like you saw, you can record yourself and then it will assess your answer. It will assess your vocab. It will assess whether you chose the right keywords or not, and it will give recommendations based on that. So
tell me about a time when you had to act quickly but didn't have a lot of data to inform your decision. What did
And the good thing about this tool is that it is specifically tailored for the different type of career that you are interested in, not a general interview prep, rather specifically for data analytics. And as you can see, the questions are even categorized based on situational or technical or soft or foundational. And you can do this. It's not just 5 questions. It can generate up to 100 to 200 questions. And the more you practice, the more well prepared you are for the interview side of your application. There's and if you like that resource, you can click on save in the platform. Once you click on save, it will appear under my resources. So I have a bunch of resources that I've liked and I've saved under my resources, and it will always be there. So you don't have to search for it every single time. Another useful interview tool would be, for example, the interview. And again, I'll do a very quick search. I'm interested in interview prep. There is the interview AI interview assistant by LinkedIn. Again, it is a very AI generated tool. Yes, so there was, once you send that recording, it will analyze the recording and it will give you, because I can't show you right now because I can't answer while presenting, but it will, you can record yourself. And once you record yourself and you send that answer, it will give you a percentage of how well you did. It will also tell you where you need to change, what keywords you need to use instead, and what things you missed. Now, I'll tell you a little something about the interview process. Because I've done a lot of interviews with a lot of companies, and because I'm a career specialist, that was basically my job. We usually have a PDF document, and that document has a score, and it looks like this. The first question will ask the individual and will have a sample answer. If the individual answered and chose the right keywords, we'll give them a score out of 10. And each question will be graded in a similar manner until at the end, we collect all of these scores and we'll choose. Let's say the score of one individual was 98 out of 100 and another was 70 out of 100. We will choose the one that's 98. So it's very good, and it's an extremely good practice to know what keywords you should use when answering in interviews, because that will increase your interview score. And if it increases your interview score, you are more likely to be hired for that position. Does that make sense? Perfect. So as well as you can practice those skills, not just through these online platforms, but also directly with me. I will show you something else. Sorry, I'm just admitting somebody else. I will show you something else that I've showed other students. And there are books where you can practice your technical interview skills. So questions regarding coding, questions regarding your technical aspects, not just the soft skills. Here in this LinkedIn feature, you are mostly practicing your foundational or your soft skills. And it's a very, very useful tool. If you click on the interview guide, it will navigate you to where you start, and it will show you the different sample answers for the different positions that you're looking for. The categories for the soft skills, for example, is tell me about yourself. What is your greatest strength? What is your greatest weakness? Once you click on that, you can click on practice and get feedback. You can record a video or even write a response, but also you can look at the different sample answers. Now, if you see here, try premium, you are not supposed to pay. This is included in your LinkedIn Learning subscription for the digital platform. It shows here for me because the email that I used for this does not match the email that I used to sign up for the platform. In order to access the LinkedIn resources in the LinkedIn Learning tool for free, you need to sign up on the LinkedIn Learning using the digital platform. So, and I'll show you very quickly what it would look like. You click on a course and then it will redirect you to the digital sign up. And then I use the username and the password for that. So even for the interview prep, it is the same thing. You can access immediate feedback, look at all the different types of answers, and it shouldn't be paid, it should be for free. You can even get tips on what kind of answers are the best and what kind of language to use. And this is specifically for the soft skills, but you can click on categories over here and there are different common questions for the different careers you want. Let's say for software engineer, I will click on software engineers and it will show me 22 questions that are extremely common for software engineers. Remember that this is a very useful tool because it's created by employers and career specialists, which means that the likelihood of you seeing that question is very high because employers will use questions from platforms like this to ask their students about to ask the applicants, about the different positions they're applying for. And again, because you can immediately get feedback by recording a video, and I prefer that you record a video, not type, because it will assess also your facial expression, the way you interact with your hands, the way you are active, and even how often you or you get distracted. So it will give you a scoring on all of those things, which are very important. The more confident you are, the better, because the more confident you are, the higher your interview score. Any questions so far? Perfect. Let's go back to the resources section that we just were discussing. Like I said, there are many resources available here for different kinds of things. Let's say, for instance, you earned a degree from outside of Canada, your bachelor's or your master's or anything else, and you are interested in understanding how you can get that foreign credential recognized within Canada. There is this tool, and if you notice here, these resources are listed by the different categories. Like for newcomers, it's listed under immigrants. For resume and cover letter, it's listed under resume and cover letter. So as long as you choose the right keyword, you should notice that the resource. In interviews, usually do not use your hands too much, but do not stay in a posture where you are closed off. Remain open, smile, and confident. If you need to use your hands, do so, but do not use them so often that the interviewer is annoyed or distracted by the frequent hand gestures. So be neutral, but remain confident. Also, I always tell students who mostly think that this is a very non-important detail, but it actually is. The way you sit is very important. If you slouch or you're distracted or looking back and forth, you are already giving off a bad vibe. Also, if you have your phone outside on the table during your interview, again, it is a very bad look on the employer's part, because your phone should not be anywhere near the atmosphere that you're interviewing in. Additionally, if, for example, you wear glasses, and I'll quickly open my camera for this. If, for example, you wear glasses and you have them here during the interview, that is a not professional look. And I've had that comment from employers specifically, where they told me that it's better if you wear glasses to put them on or remove them completely, but not have them on top of your head like this, because it doesn't give off a very professional look. So those small details actually count for something. Even though they're very small, some employers notice them and point them out. No worries. Okay, so like I said, in the resource sections, there's many resources. The career advice is a very good resource because it is the Indeed career guide. And again, you can access this for free by signing in using the digital platform. It will ask you it will show you what you should be doing in interviews, what the pay and salary looks like, the career development, how to start a new job. And if you click on career development and go to career path, you can search the different career paths that you're interested in and really do an in-depth research of whether that career path matches your interest and your skills, or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, how you can improve it because you are very passionate about it. So that's another good resource. And again, any resource that you find useful, you can just click on save and it will appear under my resources over here. Additionally, I would like to point out that if you find a resource outside that is not listed on the platform that you've really enjoyed, please do let me know by email or message me on Slack, for example, and we will get that included. Because the platform is constantly changing, we're actually right now adding not just the LinkedIn courses here, but we're also adding the Google courses, certificate courses, the Meta certificates, as well as Udemy and Coursera. So we are working on getting a lot more courses added so that you can access them for free. So your feedback is extremely valuable. So make sure you constantly mention to me certain courses that you've enjoyed, certain courses that you really felt are useful, resources that are listed on the platform that you felt are really useful. That feedback will allow us to tweak and change the platform to tailor it better to your needs. Any questions? Okay, perfect. There are, again, many resources here listed. I was just mentioning the foreign credential recognition resource. If, like I said, you have a degree from outside of Canada that you would like to be recognized within Canada, you can use this tool to get that degree recognized. This is from the government itself, so you'll understand how to do it. Some careers are regulated. Regulated careers are those that require certification. So unless you have that certificate within Canada, you cannot perform this career, even if you have a bachelor's for it from outside of Canada. So for accountants, even if you have a bachelor's in accounting from outside of Canada, you still cannot be a practicing accountant in Canada, because in Canada you need the CPA certification. For another example is a physician, doctor, a nurse, a teacher, an electrician, an architect. These positions, you cannot become or practice these positions in Canada unless you have a certain license or certification that you obtained within Canada. Other careers that are non-regulated, you can practice immediately without the need of regulating or getting your foreign credential recognized. So for example, web designer, you do not need that credential recognized. Now, how can you find out whether you need it recognized or not? Click on Get Your Credentials Assessed. And once you do, you can research the occupational profile. This tool lists exactly what you need to do to be able to get that credential assessed. Also, it will show you in different provinces the different places that you can go to get free help. So, for example, the ISS of BC, I actually used to work for them, and you can get free help. You can tell them, I'm interested in a certain career and I do have a bachelor's in it, but I cannot get it recognized. So can you please assist me in getting it recognized? They will actually also cover for the fee for recognition. So it's a very good point where you can talk to them and understand how you can get that degree recognized or credential recognized if you have it from outside of Canada. Okay. Any questions so far, or everything is good and I can move to another resource? Good. Okay. Another good resource is the online training subjects. And the online training subject also links to the LinkedIn, but it lists courses by roles. So in the learning section here, all of the courses are listed unless you... Oh, sorry. Sorry. Thank you for pointing it out. Oh, sorry. No, that is not the screen I wanted to share. So no, let me fix that. So in the learning section of LinkedIn, you can see all the courses listed unless you browse by a certain keyword. But if you go under the resources here and you can see the online training subject resource, and you can save it immediately because it's a very useful resource. If you click on see more, you will see all the courses, but instead listed by roles. So let's say you want to become a marketing specialist. It will show you all the different highest in demand courses, but also top marketing specialist skills, courses listed by level, so beginner, intermediate, advanced, and all of these courses by your digital platform are free, so you can start earning certifications. It says here, for example, that the top marketing skill I need is CMS. And I don't know what CMS is, let's say. So you click on CMS and you see a bunch of courses specifically for that. So you can take that course. So CMS, LMS, and then you can list that on your resume. I have a certification in CMS, I have a certification in LMS. In comparison to another applicant, your application looks a lot more valid and a lot stronger because you have that extra course listed on your resume. Okay. Another useful resource, and you can again take the time to search all of these resources, look at them. There is financial assistance. There are resources that are more related to the specific types of careers or career interests that you want. There are even resources listed for personal goals such as immigration, assistance in housing, assistance in finances, and we are currently also working on resources to be listed for those pursuing post-secondary education like a master's degree or a PhD degree. So we are constantly adding new resources that you can access for free through the platform. So your feedback is highly valuable, because if you find a resource outside of the platform that you'd like, we can add it on the platform immediately. And again, the platform is a centralized hub. You have everything on one place. Instead of having to apply somewhere and track your application progress another place, you can track everything over here. Like if you go to the work section and you have all the positions listed, you can click on this tool over here on the right-hand side called the job tracker, and it can show you all the different positions that you saved. And also you can drag to see if you applied for these positions. And if you were interviewing, you can put it here. And if you were hired, you can put it here. Why this is important? It will allow you to track your interests. It will allow you to track the different jobs that you liked the different jobs that you've enjoyed, the different jobs that you want to research further. So you can utilize the job tracker tool to kind of see the different things that you've enjoyed. And for every section, you can save the different resources. For example, here, all of them are saved. I saved them here. Even the courses, you can save the different courses that you'd like under My Learning. And here is where you optimize your passport to match those skills that you really want. Any questions or concerns? Perfect. Okay, so let's go back to the resource section and let's explore even further what kind of resources are very useful. For example, this is a very useful tool. It's called Explore Careers. Once you click on it, Work BC, if you're in BC or in an outside province, remember that every province has its own rules, regulations, certifications. So make sure that when you're doing your research, do it for the province you are based in. If you're based in a province outside, like let's say you're not in BC, you're in Ontario, make sure that your research is for that specific province because the rules and regulations differ a little bit between different provinces. Work BC, sorry, is a very, very popular profile career search tool for BC, and it allows you to research careers by knock or even job titles. So let's say I wanted to research developer roles. I will type in developer and it will show you the knock. This is the knock, which is the National Occupation Committee number, and it shows exactly how, and this is a governmental resource. So it's a very, very reliable resource. So it shows you exactly how high in demand this occupation is within the province that you are in. And it also, in a lot of cases, it helps students even make decisions of moving. Let's say web developers and designer is high opportunity in BC, but not in Ontario. You could move or even apply to a remote position in BC instead of just focusing on Ontario. And once you click on it, it not only shows you how high opportunity it is, so based on market research, how often you can find a position, but it will also show you what it would look like. What are the duties you are performing? What are your earnings? What is the highest hourly pay and the lowest hourly pay? What is the work environment? How many numbers of workers are employed a year in this type of position? What are the different career pathways and what are the related careers to that career pathway? It will also even show you the different types of, and this is again, if you noticed, artistic, investigative, and conventional are results from the Holland Code quiz. So even governmental sites will use these kinds of skills because it shows you, and it will also show, and this is my best, the best part of it, that it shows you the names. Let's say you are interested in web designer and developer, but it will show you also the names, the keywords that you can use to research positions that you can apply for. Not just web developer, but you can also research web integrator, webmaster. Why? Because these are used by employers when they are publishing and creating applications for employees to submit to. And again, this is just one category. There's the education and training skills section. It will show you education programs in BC, the skills that are required, both soft and even technical. It will show you the different positions here listed. If you can tell, it will also show you the recent jobs. Right now, posted on February 8th, this was a position that is related to that, and it will show you where you can save it, how you can apply for it, what it would look like, etc., and the different tasks and different computer and technology that you need. So once you're doing your research, it gives you an idea of the different market trends and what you need to be looking for when you're applying for a job. So that is also a very, very useful useful tool that is listed under the resource section. It's called Explore Careers. Okay. You can also go under they categorize jobs by opportunity, by skills that are needed for training, trades, job application tips, and more. So right now they have Work BC for British Columbia listed, but we are working on getting other provinces. If, for example, you're from Ontario or Alberta or anywhere else, you can book your one-on-one with me and I will get you a resource that works for the province that you are currently based in. So no worries if you can't find the province listed on the platform, or if you're not sure where or what keyword to search for, just book your one-on-one or even email me or Slack me or message me and I'll be able to assist you with that. Okay? Okay. Perfect. So there are, like I said, for example, employment in Ontario. For Ontario specifically, this is the equivalent of Work BC. It's called Employment Ontario. And again, you can search a job. Let's say you want to search for web design. Sorry, my internet. It will also show you the different job banks. It will categorized by labor market information. So job profiles, job markets, economic scans, labor market trends, and more. And so you can really optimize and understand the career that you want. You can even find apprenticeships or internships through the site. You can build your skills. There are different things that you can sign up for free and more through this Ontario. So this is the equivalent of BC, Work BC, but for Ontario. Okay. There are resources listed for newcomers. Let's say you don't, and this is another good one. So we talked about the Slack chapters that you can join, but also you can join different global networkings or job boards that are specifically tailored for the business community or the digital community. And these are listed. As long as you can join via LinkedIn, you can directly get access to people in the digital tech space in Canada. So this is, if I was signed into LinkedIn, it will redirect me to a group where digital people from the digital tech space are in, and you can kind of see the different companies and even the different people working for this company so that you can have direct access to them. So instead of submitting an application through an online site, you can message them personally, which is a more efficient and effective tool to land a interview and to get further in your hiring process. There are so many more. There's even resources that can help you with personal goals and support like therapy, and they're all offered for free. So it's a very, very good hub for you to kind of understand the different things that you would do. So explore the resource section heavily. Any questions or concerns? Okay, perfect. So just a brief closing, make sure, because we've covered the first 4 steps and our next session is in 2 weeks, take the time to research the different options of your digital careers, like we discussed in the beginning, and also take the time to explore the different helpful career resources. Once you're done, you should be at this stage, which is step number 4, and it should show up in the completed section. I will track your progress in the back end, and I will email you if you haven't completed a step so that we can get you started on that. And also, if you'd like to book your one-on-one, you can do that. You feel free to do that. You can get more personalized tips and help, and we can go over your resume more in depth and your personal goals more in depth. So just make sure that you proper research for the career path you're choosing so that we can get you started on landing that position that you're interested in. Okay? If nobody has any questions or concerns, I'm going to end the recording now. And